Bam.
I am fully aware I know nothing. This is why I look deep within for the answers.
People talk like they walk like we walk. No, they catching their breath, young and they step.
So I mean, that shit happens everywhere, no problem. The fact is this. Listen, this is my thing. Just to get to it.
People talk like they walk like we walk. No, they catching their breath, young and they step too slow. North side of PG, what we call.
You know what you mean? Yes, sir.
I'm straight as a perm. Hard to scribble lyrics cause my thoughts are beyond words. Unmatched that.
And so it begins, huh?
I'm excited.
You excited?
I'm excited.
Me too.
What I spit is hot burning, like hot to touch, so I'm never concerned with the jealousy.
I really don't get with folks that sit around and complain too much and keep trying to act like we're going through what they went through.
They treat us like Jesus, they won't believe us. I'm fed up. I show my
Because naturally women support men that's on their shit. If you really want her to be on that same type level with you and beyond, surpass that man.
Points. Smitty's Corner.
Respect. Oh man. Wonderful morning to you. Wonderful morning to you. I actually wanted to tap in on a few things. I was actually thinking about some things. Um, I say maybe like possibly like for the last couple years now. Yeah, but that's not a long time to me. But of course, as always, respect. Welcome back to Smitty's Corner. And y'all know how we do over here. While I'm doing my morning routine, while I'm getting some things done, I'm just thinking in my head, like, it is a very beautiful thing when you have enough joy in yourself and you can extend that. And so that's something I've always had an abundance of. And I believe that is something that should never be like you shouldn't be selfish with that, right? You swimming out. So I'm here to holler at folks this morning briefly to, I guess, kind of reiterate a little bit about myself, right? So, first of all, for those who aren't aware, right? Your boy Smitty, I am somebody who, let's say, that was like my early teenage years. I always had these thoughts in my head of which direction to go in my life. I didn't have these thoughts in my later adult years. No, this actually occurred like when I'm like a teenager. So I'm already trying to figure out which direction I want to go. I step into multiple avenues of life. Along with these avenues in life, you know what came with it? Came a lot of hardship, came a lot of bumps and bruises, came a lot of joyful, wonderful times as well. Right? That's what came with all of my experiences in life. So now I move further, and I'm now to the point where, let's say, get fast forward through all that time going through that. It's me. The reason why you have gone through all the things you have gone through is because you're supposed to, for whatever specific reason. You see? So why am I here? Why did Smitty start YouTube? Why did I decide to come to these spaces? I'm going to reiterate that part more than anything. And that's, purpose. I want to know if anybody notices, like, yeah, I may, like, for example, my banners, I may throw that across the bottom. I didn't make that. The missus did. I didn't make that. My point is that I don't ever tell nobody to smash like, subscribe, nothing. I'm not telling you to do it now. What I'm saying is that that's not what my thought process is. After I've been through all the shit that I've seen and gone through, I believe it would be extremely selfish not to share some of those with you. I believe that I have figured out to a degree what my purpose is, and that purpose is to be of servitude to those around me. My purpose is not to save the world. My purpose isn't to save anyone. No, my purpose is to be of a benefit. It's the only reason why I came to these spaces. I'm somebody who actually has seen and gone through multiple avenues of joy and pain in life, from physical, mental, and spiritual. You know why I also came to these spaces? Because I don't know everything. That's why I love to ask questions. I also came here because I know it's people that I can learn from as well. Another reason why I came to these spaces to network. Because see, I got a lot of different ideas that go on with me. Like, I have a lot of ideas. And sometimes, you might, need a proper team to go ahead and execute and bring that vision to fruition, right? Sometimes that does happen. But I can tell you, like, throughout everything that I have experienced, like YouTube wise, internet, social media, everything, the number one thing that I always truly cherish is privacy. Out of anything. Why? Because when you expose what your privacy is, then what happens is distractions can come in the midst of that and then derail you from your purpose. See, it all goes back to purpose. I don't want to be distracted, There are so many things I would love to come up here and just spew and run my mouth about. I would love to do that, you know what I'm saying? But I have to then think to myself, right? As I'm on my purpose, what would be the purpose? I also ask myself that. What's the purpose? What's the point? What do I really get out of either coming up on a show angry, things of that nature? That's why, I say all the time. That's why I'm just trying to get that little morning motivation to anybody, right? Who might be listening. Real shit, though. Yo, it'd be a lot of things around me in my life I go through. I'm talking about primarily family wise. I'm not talking nothing relationship wise. I'm fine on that. Family wise, life wise, a lot that goes on that I don't talk to nobody about. Some people close to me know the little things that's going on in my life. A lot of y'all don't. I be wanting to share, but then I sit back and I ask myself this question while on my purpose. What's the purpose? What's the point? You see? Now, at the same time, I do recognize that I see why people at times may gravitate to social media. Just did a show not too long ago speaking about loneliness and how heavy that is. Excuse me. And so there are a lot of people who may run to social media because they feel that sense of loneliness. What the Smitties say, well, then you need to become best friends with you first. Let you be your best friend before you like try to go off and hit some kind of big wild geek and angry move. See, the thing about me that I always want to make very clear is that I do this for the day that I'm no longer here. And that's the truth. It's the only reason why I'm here. I'm only here to just build a collection of memories. I'm here to go ahead and have a few laughs and everything else and meet some folks before I leave from here. No, don't. This ain't no like signing off. Ain't nobody about to no. You never know what can happen tomorrow. I was ran over by a train, for crying out loud. I need people to think about this. I was ran over by a train in January, out of the hospital by the beginning of February. And I was on YouTube by like April of 2022. Did you hear that? Ran over by a train in January, out of the hospital in February, and I was on YouTube by about April. You see? Because when that happened to me, watch this. What was I on track of before I got into my train accident? I was on my purpose. When I got cut down, I didn't say why me. That's not what I said. I said, please stop the pain. It's excruciating, beyond belief. But no, I just simply asked, what can I still do to be of servitude? So real thing I actually asked God. I didn't sit up there and be talking about why me, why me. I always want any and everybody who ever hears my voice to remember this. I come from strength. I live in strength. I embody it. We don't move in weakness. We don't move in frailness. Are there times of doubt? Is there times of worry? I mean, that's natural. Heck, there are even times where you might be a little scared. That is natural. There are times you will be frustrated, infuriated. That is natural. But see, when you truly embody strength, you're able to not let those things consume you. I never let anger consume me. I don't let that happen. I literally take in anger and then I'm like, I'm saying, on some Care Bear shit. Like I just release all kinds of like wonderful things. That's my purpose. My purpose is to absorb negativity and then give it back to you in a loving way. That truly is my purpose. It took me such a long time, 42 years. Now, I don't have all of this down pack and I ain't got everything figured out, right? But I damn sure at least got that much under my belt that I do know. You're not supposed to move around angry. You don't do that. Life will anger you at times, but just like the word says, right? It's not what enters the body, but what proceeded from the heart. Again, as I say before, what I receive from that parable, that little message is, it's not about what happens to you in this life. It's all about what comes from your heart. How do you respond? How do you respond to what happens? You know what I do? I just like stay on my purpose. Because, when you know yourself, your foundation is unshakable, it's unmovable. Ain't nothing, absolutely nothing in this world even began to put scratches in it. And some materials not even from earth, the pillars of the foundation. And that's one thing I always make sure that I keep in mind. It's real easy to get distracted. And I've noticed that distractions generally come when one allows these extra exterior outside forces too much into what it is that their life consists of. So now you have all these other voices pointing and telling you in different directions, this and this and that. Thus, you stop listening to you. You got on track of your purpose because you listened to yourself. Now, of course, not yourself, really. I would say it's God, but let's just keep it on the physical. Let's just keep it on the basic. You listen to yourself. You follow what it is that you know is your right path first. That's how we operate. That's the message I give to the village. Don't let nobody take you off your path. Don't let not a damn thing ever deter you. Every morning I wake up, I'm like, oh, I thank God I woke up. I don't care what kind of night or week it's been before. You know what I'm saying? The week before, the night before, whatever. Okay. If I'm breathing today, guess what that means? I got a whole nother redo. Yeah, that's right. You know, just like in video games, you know, every day you wake up is like a do-over. Did you know that? It's amazing. All of the like think of all the days you wake up. If you count it every day for every year that you are right now, that is ever how many hundreds of thousands or whatever it is chances that you have had to do something different every single day. See, that repetitive cycle of dysfunction and disarray only occurs truly when one wakes up the next day with yesterday's feelings. Does that mean forget about it? No. Whatever you're going through, you're going to go through that shit. Nah, you don't forget about that. But I can tell you this much right now, like dead ass on this. You make sure that you focus enough on what it is you've been through. Just enough so that you can steer clear of it next time. But you don't dwell on it. You don't harbor it. Man, I never get nothing done if I sat up here and I just bitched and moaned and complained about every little teeny thing that happens to me. I just know that comes with this turf that's called life. It comes with the terrain. If you wake up, you're also not guaranteed. You see what I'm saying? Life ain't necessarily guaranteed. So that's why I'm real big on making sure every day counts for me at this point. I know what it's like to be looking and you're blinks away from crossing over. I know what it's like to actually have that feeling. It's it's to say it's otherworldly. And so, you know, the whole time, you know, I was in a circumstance and in that situation, I came from, like I said, man, like the only thing that was on my mind at that point was, the only thing that was on my mind was, yo, I gotta do more before I exit. Cause I'm just thinking to myself, what if that was the day, January 31st, 2022? What if that was the day I exited? Y'all would have never heard I digress. My mic is muted. You'd have never heard it. I never met you guys. Whatever experiences and memories or whatever it is and that you do have encounters with me, that'll never have took place had I exit here January 31st, 2022. I was spared for a reason. And you think that after being spared, being ran over by the train, I'm about to sit around bitch moaning, complain, talking about some why me? Nah, I just ask God, what more can I do? What you need me to do now? We still, hey man, show must go on, right? And we smile while doing it. And we smile genuinely. And you know what we do with our smiles? We give it to other people and we see to it that you smile too. I don't know who you are. Somebody cheesing to this right now. Thank you. That's all my mission is. I gotta keep doing that. But you know something? It's a heavy burden. That shit ain't easy to uphold. Y'all think I don't be having times where I just be like, F y'all and them damn kids. You think those moments can occur? Yeah, they do. But then that's when a very, very, very special superpower comes in. Yes, I call this a superpower. It's called resilience. It's called resilience. I didn't realize so many people didn't even know I was in a train accident. I didn't know that. I thought everybody was hip. But no, I mean, it's just something where life happens. You know what I'm saying? And I can't even front like to be quite honest with you. Um, I don't see anything other than it's physically tragic, I guess people would say, right? Right. I had to watch a piece of my body be disattached. I mean, come on. I mean, of course, most people would say that's very much so traumatizing, but I'm smiling while talking to you saying it. You know why? It's not masking pain. I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's because I don't see that end of the glass. That's the empty side. I only see what's in there. You know, that other half side. I'm a miracle in the flesh, period. And I don't mean that like glorifying myself, but like that's a miracle. I think if anybody would say that's a miracle. This shit ain't easy to like actually live with mentally and deal with. Nah, it's not. It's not at all. So yeah, this is just like, just like a nice little quick morning message live. Um, I just want to make it very clear. Like, look, one thing I'm always going to do is uphold my end of things. I will. I'll always do that. Now, of course, I will only be able to uphold my end of things when given the opportunity to do so. Like when life gives me that opportunity, right? So I'm just saying that, in the sense of every so often, I just like to make sure that I guess I do a check in with folks. Because just like I ask you, right? Do y'all notice how I start my show? What do I say every time I start my show for the most part? I might have missed once or so, but I always say, how are you? How's your day? And how's your headspace? Just in case no one else asks you. Why do I do that? Because I know how important it is just to ask somebody how they doing. Just check in with a person. I know how valuable that is. I was amazed to know during my time of incarceration how many others have gone decades without a sincere hug. And when they finally got them, they cried like a damn baby. Couldn't hold it, couldn't help it. They almost forgot that something called love, compassion, and sincerity even exists. It's a real thing. That's why I always ask you guys first before we even get started, how's your day? How's your headspace? And how's the day been treating you? Just in case no one asked you. Why? Because I know what it's like to be that person to go quite some time without a hug. I know what it's like to be that person that ain't nobody ask you how you doing. Don't nobody check in with you for a bit. I know what it's like. So that's why I don't then take that and harbor it and turn it into like anger and all this shit. Nah, I do that and I transform it and I give it back to you in a caring way because I recognize what that is. You see? That's my main thing. And that's really primarily what I want to make sure. I don't want nobody to get Smitty twisted. I will speak for me before anybody else ever does. And that is what I consist of. And I know what my purpose is. I know what your direction I'm going in life. And I know how I want to execute these things. I've had a lot of time to myself to go ahead, plot and plan. That's all I've been doing. All I've been doing is just mapping out and blueprinting. So as I'm doing that, yeah, finally, I am now at that point where I'm saying to myself, I got my shit together enough to where I can extend myself now again. Because the darkest time in my life was when I wasn't creating, because I'm an artist. I can tell people when I was not creating, it was the worst. It was the worst feeling for me. You want to know why? Because I don't create for myself, although subsequently I do get instant gratification, right? Because there's like an old saying that goes, the portrait is not for the painter. The portrait is for the viewer. Yeah, I'm sitting here, I'm doing this work for you, but it's not for me. It's to be hung up so you can enjoy it as you walk by or stare at it or get whatever puzzle pieces from it that you get. That portrait is not for me, the painter. It's for the viewer, right? See, that's how my brain operates as one who is of extension. I love to extend. Now, the part about it that can make things very, very... See, this is where I say as the givers, it can be difficult. Is when it's not reciprocated, let's say in a way in which two ways. One, either a person feels it should be in the timing of, right? Like you want it maybe to come back to you instantly, or it came back, let's say instantly, but it didn't come back exactly how you wanted it to. Because that's not what it's about. And that's one thing I've learned about people, right? Like every individual person is their own individual light and spirit. No matter how similar any of us may be in a lot of ways, so everybody is different in so many ways. And what I see is like when you really grasp peace, like when you truly harness what peace consists of, you eliminate all of the trying to get people to think, act, and move like you. Because that's going to bring the headache that will what? Disturb one's peace. The day that I truly found my peace is the day that I recognize I am the only one in this world like me. And I'm talking about in its entirety. Again, of course, you're going to come across people with similarities. Oh, yeah, I like this pizza topping. I'm also an anime fan, whatever. Yeah, that's going to happen. Now, I'm talking about that raw, deep, true essence of who you are as an individual spirit and light. There's no other bulb or star like yours. As a matter of fact, they say that no one star is the same. They're not. These things happen. Identical twins don't even have the same fingerprint. No zebra has the same pattern of stripes. No leopard has the same pattern of spots. No matter how similar they look, they're all, if you really look at it in detail, they're all different. And that is how I see spirit. Like, dead ass, that's how I see spirit. For me to try to figure out why a fish isn't like an eagle isn't like a caterpillar, and a caterpillar is not like an elephant, you know what happens? I never learned about these things because I'm more focused on trying to figure out why aren't you the same, as opposed to each individual purpose do all of these have, because they have to be created different for a reason. Sure enough, when we look deeper into these things, that's exactly what nature and science shows us. Everything from bees to whales, you name it, they all serve a significant purpose. Heck, even flies. Yes, what do? I know they're on piles of boo-boo, but if they don't do that, along with other insects and microorganisms, there will be a lot of bacteria in the area. Thus, there will be a lot of like plague and stuff. There'll just be like airborne disease. Yes, even they serve a purpose. I just don't want them around me on me, right? Now, to this very moment, I'm still scratching my head. What is the purpose of mosquitoes? Now, I can't front. That's one. That's one I just can't seem to wrap my mind. I can figure out a purpose for almost any and everything in nature you can think of, all the way down to dead fallen leaves in the woods, man. I swear on life, because it's mulch, it's fertilizer. Like everything has a purpose. I don't know what mosquitoes is. But moving forward though, you gotta know how to laugh out here. You better know how to do it. You better know how to just shrug your shoulder and be like, you know what? Nah. You better know how to do it. Don't you let this life consume you. You consume life. Don't you let this life work you. You work this life. Make this life work for you. You have that power. I know for a fact because I wield it. I know how to make things around me work for me, like my environment. I know how to be in the middle of the woods and make that environment work for me. These are things that I like to make sure that I always keep people in the headspace up. Don't you ever forget that. I don't know why people like, some folks that may be waiting and wondering, is he going to be messy? No, I'm not, damn it. Let me just say it this morning. No, I'm never going to get online and do anything like that because I maintain my frame. That's not something I do. You want to know why? Because it's beneath me. It took too long to get up here. Why would I want to go back down? I like the view. It's a wonderful view up here. And it's a lot more spacious. It's a lot more crowded down there. See, down there is real crowded. I know because I'm up here looking at it. So I'm never going to stoop down to anything such as that. It's just not me as a man. It's not becoming of a man. My father didn't raise that type of man, nor did my mother. I don't operate like that. So if anybody ever sits around and waits for that, you got a long time to wait. Because the one thing I always try to make sure I do, because I've said it, and I'm so dead ass on this early morning. I've told people, and there are a few, I don't know, you might catch a replay, you might be listening. There's one thing I do not want to leave this world and be known as. Out of anything in this world, there's one thing I do not want to be known as when I perish. And that's a hypocrite. Yeah. Out of any and everything. I fear that more than actually death itself. I do. I fear being a hypocrite than actually passing away. It's that terrifying to me to be a hypocrite. Somebody who goes around talking a bunch of stuff, but then you know what I'm saying? I don't want. Do I have mistakes? Are there flaws? Yeah, of course. Shoot, if I was to go here to my media, was speaking about it last night right here.
People do not want to hear this, but a real lasting relationship requires a lot of tolerance. You have to accept that the other person is not perfect. Disappointments, pains, and irritations are inevitable. The real question is whether you are ready to face the ups and downs together, because that's it. Loving is recognizing that the other person has flaws, weaknesses, moments of doubt, just like you. Loving is embracing their imperfections. Seeing beyond the arguments, misunderstandings, and mistakes is realizing that perfection does not exist in relationships, but there is beauty in the efforts to stay united. It's about learning to forgive, communicate, and grow together. Loving is a choice to stay, to fight, to build something strong even when it's difficult. This challenge strengthens bonds, deepens love, and makes it more real. Comment love if you still believe in true love.
My bad. I'm on my phone, so things are moving a little slow. I've been working on my computer for a break. This phone live is different now. But I know that was mainly focused on relationship. But no, see, I go in depth with those type of things. No, that's just relationships. Your family, your close circle, yes, and of course, significant other. Absolutely. But just like I was saying earlier, the day that I grasped and really have held on, and why I'm able to maintain my peace, I'm able to do that because I don't go around thinking that the world should be me. I do recognize that we're going to talk at times. We're going to say things. Some people, like in these spaces, like how many times do you got to recognize somebody's going to maybe, for example, pop up on a panel, say something that you don't necessarily agree with, right? Before we all right, bet, do I need to hop and snap off at every little thing? Patience, knowing nobody's perfect. All of these things, the flaws, their riches, their goods, and I'm talking about riches within. I ain't talking about their money. Their riches as far as who they are, what makes them wealthy as a person, what is their value. That is a real thing. Period. So I just wanted to come up briefly, and you already know. I want to make sure I always let you know that I love us. Point blank, period. You will never get anything else from me except something that can help uplift you or build you, or just make you laugh real quick. You're never going to get anything less. That is one thing I can absolutely give my word on. Because I only have laughter, reinforcing loving words, and I only have positivity, honestly, to give, to be quite honest with you. I don't care how cheesy, corny, or whatever that shit sounds. Maybe we need to make cheesy cool again. Seriously. Maybe we do. You see? So I just wanted to, at least real quick, help you guys and, again, be somewhat of a reminder, like, yo, don't let this life consume you. Continue to be moderate in what you consume in life. That's how we operate. That's how you keep your balance. That's how that works. All right. But with that being said, you already know how we go. I digress. My mic is muted. I just got one question.
Now, don't you feel tough?
Yeah.
Don't you feel strong?
Yeah.
Don't you feel like going home?
Sure. Yeah.
Then get the hell out of my apartment and take.
Okay, I digress. My mic is muted. Rocco.
Breeze, man. Breeze.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
Crack through the chrysalis, spread wings, take flight. I be where them clouds be, only birds around me. Evolved from a prince to a king, so you should crown me. From Rome Lawn to V-Town to the Heights is where my mans be. Lone Star, the greatest, underrated, needs a Grammy. Long live Eon and Kathy, my two grannies. Shit was looking real rough, now I'm back up. Beating up the beat while still smacking the track up. Used to blow the bag, now switch gears and stack up. Met a new plug, now my shit sold up. Get the hatred out your heart. All I need is a little love and pull that paper out your pocket. All I need is a hold of dub, and I'm still around the way like crucial conflict smoking hay. And I still be out the city with my cousins out on play. And we ball like every day, don't really care about what you say. Yeah, the devil tried to block me, but I still done found a way. Anybody try to test me with these lyrics, I'm gon' slay. Anybody try to test me with these lyrics, I'm gon' spray. It's stop.